I am Monk Hanzo. I am 89 years old, and there is something I need to tell you. Something profoundly simple, yet so deeply transformative that it completely changed how I see life, old age, and, yes, the fundamental strength of our very own legs. A few years ago, my footsteps walked the bustling, ancient streets of Tehran. Later, my eyes gazed upon the quiet, hallowed hills near Nazareth. Two places, seemingly so distant, so distinct in their modern narratives. One, a vibrant cradle of ancient poetry, intricate art, and profound philosophy, echoing with the voices of Rumi and Hafiz. The other, a sacred sanctuary of memory, a land woven with threads of deep faith and historical resonance, where every stone seems to whisper stories of millennia past. But in both of these remarkably different lands, I found the same surprising, timeless truth, a truth that isn't taught in books or found in grand philosophies, but observed in the most elemental of human actions, movement, legs. They are more than just limbs for locomotion. They tell the very story of how you live. They are the silent chroniclers of your resilience, the steadfast pillars of your earthly journey, connecting you to the ground beneath your feet. Let me explain this, for it truly did change everything for me. In Iran, amidst the vibrant chaos and rich aromas of the Grand Bazaar, I met a man named Khaled. He was 91 years old, his face a map of time, etched with wisdom and gentle humor. He wore a simple, worn black vest, the fabric soft from countless washes, and sandals with cracked soles that seemed to have carried him through countless miles and 1,000 stories. And every single morning, without fail, with a quiet dignity that was almost meditative, he walked to the bazaar, nearly 2 miles there, 2 miles back, navigating the winding alleys and uneven pavements. No cane, no visible struggle, no single stop for rest. His pace was firm, incredibly resolute, almost a slow, deliberate march through time. I was utterly fascinated by his unwavering endurance, his quiet strength. I asked him, with genuine curiosity, my voice softened by admiration, "Khaled, how do you still walk like this, with such remarkable vitality, with such a quiet power in your steps?" He paused, a slight smile playing on his lips, a smile that seemed to have seen centuries unfold. He gestured for me to sit and offered me a small, steaming glass of fragrant black tea infused with cardamom. And then he told me something that resonated profoundly within me, something that subtly, yet irrevocably, shifted my preconceived notions about physical strength and the nature of human resilience. My legs are strong because they have carried me through fear. I confess I didn't understand at first. The idea that fear could be a forge for strength rather than a paralyzing force was entirely new to my contemplative mind. It challenged the common understanding of how we build ourselves. But as we sipped the sweet, aromatic tea in the quiet shade of a dusty merchant's stall, he began to tell me his story. He spoke of the bitter times of war, of the countless nights spent hidden in the desolate, unforgiving mountains, with the heavy weight of uncertainty and apprehension pressing down on his young heart. Yet, even in those moments of profound terror, his legs kept moving, inch by agonizing inch, carrying him towards an uncertain dawn. He learned, out of sheer necessity, to move in complete silence, to breathe so slowly and deeply that his very presence seemed to merge with the night air. He learned to trust implicitly in his knees and ankles, to rely on their silent strength, even in the deepest, most suffocating darkness, even when the slightest sound of a single misplaced step could have meant the end of everything. In that quiet moment, sitting across from Khaled, a truth as clear and piercing as crystal revealed itself to me. Fear can, indeed, make some legs freeze, locking them in a paralysis of dread. But for others, it forges them, tempering them until they become utterly unshakable. Khaled's strength wasn't simply the result of rigorous exercises or a specific diet. It was the raw, undeniable resilience forged in times of profound adversity. It was the strength of survival, of tireless adaptation, of the deeply human capacity to keep moving forward, to endure, to choose life despite everything. It was a profound, living lesson about the resilience of the human spirit, manifested quite literally in the unwavering steps of an old man. Now, permit me to gently lead you to another land, another soul. Permit me to take you to Israel. In the northern hills, among the ancient gnarled olive trees that have stood as silent witnesses for centuries, their branches reaching towards the sky like arthritic hands, and the winding valleys that ripple like green velvet under the intense blue sky, I met Ruth. She was 87 years old, her eyes sparkling with an inner light, her spirit as vibrant as the land around her. And believe me, she still gracefully climbed up and descended the steep, rocky trails of the olive fields behind her modest stone home, with an agility that defied her years, a fluid motion that seemed to belong to a much younger body. Every morning, without fail, as the first rays of sunlight kissed the ancient landscape, she performed a sequence of gentle, deliberate stretches that her grandmother had taught her. This wisdom, passed down through generations, was more than just exercise. It was a sacred practice. She called these movements the Psalm Walk, a beautiful blend of physical movement and spiritual reverence. It always began with her hands placed softly, respectfully, over her own thighs, as if she were blessing the very vessels that carried her through life, whispering words of gratitude. She would recite with a voice full of quiet devotion, her words like a gentle prayer. You have bent in prayer. Now, rise for the day that begins. And then, with an almost ethereal grace, she would squat slowly, deeply, as if gathering the energy of the earth itself, breathe deeply, filling her lungs with the clean morning air, and then rise, smoothly, effortlessly, like a resilient wildflower slowly unfolding its petals in the dry yet life-giving desert sand. It was a vision of pure beauty, profound respect, and an ancient reverence for the body. She looked at me, her eyes shining with an inner wisdom, and with a gentle smile she told me, "My legs are strong because I respect them as if they are holy. They are my temple, Monk Hanzo, the very foundation that connects me to the earth, to my ancestors, and to my unfolding history." That, my friends, was the second profound lesson. It crystallized a truth I had intuitively known but never articulated. If you treat your legs as mere tools, as machines designed solely for utility, they will eventually break down. They will wear out under the constant strain of demands. But if you treat them as temples, as sacred vessels worthy of reverence, meticulous care, and profound gratitude, they will not only endure, they will thrive. They will sustain you with a quiet strength throughout your entire life, carrying you with grace and resilience. I returned home from those travels, a profoundly different man, not merely because of the new landscapes I had seen, or the exotic tastes I had savored, or the unfamiliar languages I had heard, but because of the people I had met. Khaled, the man of unwavering resilience forged in fear. Ruth, the woman of graceful strength born from reverence. Two souls, from two distinct cultures, yet bound by a single shared timeless wisdom. They showed me with their very lives that true strength, especially after the age of 75, is not built in sterile gyms, or measured by heavy weights, or achieved with complex, intimidating machines. It is not about outward displays of power. No, it is built in moments, in small, deliberate, almost invisible rituals, in a quiet, profound awareness of one's own body, its capabilities, and its limitations, and crucially, in a deep understanding of one's place in the vast, unfolding tapestry of the world. It's a strength that emanates from the resilience of the soul, from the quiet discipline of the spirit, and from a deep, abiding reverence for the physical form that carries us through this life. They taught me that old age is not an inevitable, sorrowful decline into weakness and fragility. No. Instead, it is a profound opportunity to rediscover the inherent, quiet strength we have carried within us all along, a profound power that we often neglect or dismiss in our busy, achievement-driven youth. It is the strength that comes from a life fully lived, from countless challenges silently overcome, from a profound, heartfelt gratitude for every single step taken, every single breath drawn. It is the wisdom of accumulation, of experience, distilled into quiet, powerful moments. And it is for this very reason that today, at 89 years young, I feel compelled to share with you what I now do every single morning. A simple, yet profoundly powerful set of rituals that I lovingly absorbed from the living wisdom of Khalid in Iran and Ruth in Israel. These are not arduous exercises, they are moments of connection. Rituals that have fundamentally changed my way of walking, yes, but more importantly, they have changed my entire way of living, my relationship with my own body, and with the passage of time itself. Here are the 5 rituals I now incorporate into my daily life, thanks to the quiet, ancient wisdom of Iran and Israel. I invite you to try them, to feel their subtle power. First, the silent step ritual. Every morning, before the world truly awakens, I take precisely 7 steps in complete, profound silence. I do this barefoot, allowing my soles to truly feel the ground beneath them. Each one of these steps, each one, represents a decade of my life, a silent acknowledgement of the path I have walked. I walk slowly, deliberately, almost painstakingly, listening not to external sounds, but to the rhythmic ebb and flow of my own breath. This seemingly simple exercise teaches my feet, which are often forgotten and encased in shoes, to truly feel again, to discern the texture of the ground, the subtle changes in temperature, the smallest, most minute irregularities that our modern lives teach us to ignore. It deeply reconnects my legs with the very rhythm of my breath, with my core, with the earth itself. It is a return to primordial sensitivity, a quiet, profound rediscovery of the firm, supportive ground beneath our feet. Second, the knee honor touch. Before I even attempt to stand fully upright, I gently place both of my hands, the hands that have touched so much in life, softly over my knees. I look at them with a profound sense of gratitude, not as failing joints, but as wise old friends. I say, in a soft, almost imperceptible voice, "You are not weak. You are wise. You have carried me through so much." Then I apply a small, warming amount of pure sesame oil, which I have warmed in my own palms, and massage the kneecaps in slow, gentle, mindful circular movements. This humble act does more than just increase circulation and lubricate the joints. More importantly, it restores a deep, intuitive trust in my joints, reminding them of their inherent capacity, their incredible resilience. It is an act of profound self-care, a moment of tender reverence, and an acknowledgement of their tireless service. Third, the olive tree balance pose. Inspired directly by Ruth and the timeless, unwavering strength of the ancient olive trees, which stand against all odds, I stand tall and firm like an olive tree deeply enrooted in the earth. One foot is placed firmly and flatly on the ground, grounding me. The other, gently, almost imperceptibly, lifted, with the very tip of the foot just barely touching the ground, like a new, tender branch reaching for the light. My hands are placed softly in front of my chest, in a gesture of quiet reverence and balance. I maintain this position for a deliberate 20 seconds on each side, focusing on my breath, on my core. This seemingly simple exercise trains my legs to stabilize, not with brute, forceful effort, but with presence, with a deep, quiet awareness of my center, of my inherent balance. It's about finding profound equilibrium amidst the stillness, like a venerable tree that gracefully withstands the strongest, most battering winds. Fourth, the gentle Persian squat hold. Khaled, with his quiet strength, showed me this. It is not a deep, aggressive gym-style squat that strains the knees. No, it is profoundly gentle, a subtle yielding. You lower yourself down just a little, as if you are about to sit on an invisible, comfortable stool, maintaining your spine perfectly straight, your chest open, your shoulders relaxed. I hold this position for a contemplative 30 seconds, This subtle, powerful movement gently yet effectively activates the major muscle groups of the thighs, the glutes, and the core, all without causing any wear and tear or excessive pressure on the precious joints. It is a quiet invitation to the body's natural, inherent strength, a profound reminder that we do not need extreme or forceful movements to be truly strong, to maintain our vitality. And finally, fifth, the tea walk. In both Iran and Israel, I observed a beautiful, simple ritual among the elders. They would often drink their warm, comforting tea while walking slowly and mindfully outdoors, lost in an act of deep contemplation. I now embrace this practice fully. I hold a warm cup of herbal tea, perhaps a calming chamomile or a fragrant mint, in my hands. With each deliberate step, each gentle sip, it becomes a walking meditation. This ritual beautifully combines conscious movement, the soothing warmth of the tea, and the profound calm of presence, awakening my entire body, from the tip of my mind to the soles of my feet. It's a cherished moment to be fully present, fully embodied, nourishing both the physical form and the soul within. And now, as I conclude these thoughts, you may still find yourselves asking, but Hanzo, why these particular places? Why the distant ancient lands of Iran? Why the hallowed, storied land of Israel? Because these, my friends, are lands where people have lived under immense pressure for centuries. They are lands steeped in layers of history, marked by conflicts, by profound historical challenges, by an existence that has demanded constant, relentless adaptation, deep resilience, and unwavering spirit. And when people live under such profound, enduring pressure, they are compelled, by the very nature of their circumstances, to learn what truly, fundamentally matters for survival, for dignity, for life itself. They learn that true strength, the kind that sustains you through the decades, does not reside merely in the visible muscle. It is forged in the silent ritual, in the unwavering daily discipline, in the deep, unbreakable connection with one's own body, and with the grand, timeless purpose of one's existence. They learn that the most profound, most liberating form of freedom lives, quite literally, in the legs, in the ability to move, to choose one's path, to carry one's own weight through life. I saw elders, men and women well over 75, walking up steep, unforgiving paths, sometimes wearing only simple, worn plastic shoes, perhaps carrying hearts heavy with the profound trials and sorrows of their lives. But their steps were full of a quiet, undeniable dignity. Not because of the money they possessed, not because of complex machines or advanced technologies that promised easy solutions. No, it was because of how they had, over a lifetime, trained their bodies and their spirits to respect time, to flow with the unyielding currents of life, to carry their own unique history with an astonishing grace and an unwavering determination. It was the deep, embodied wisdom of steps, forged not in luxury, but in a life of profound resilience and quiet acceptance. If you are over 75 and your legs feel thin, tired, or simply forgotten, a part of you that has lost its vitality, remember this, my friend. You do not need to travel to the other side of the world to reclaim your inherent power. You do not need to seek out exotic gurus or expensive treatments to reconnect with the strength that already exists, dormant perhaps, within you. You need only to do what they did, with a quiet heart and a willing spirit. Wake your legs with care, with a gentle touch and a conscious breath. Move slowly, deliberately, with profound intent, feeling every fiber of your being. Bless your body, your temple, with daily rituals of gratitude and mindful movement. And walk. Walk like the world is still yours, as it always has been and always will be, because it is. Every single step is an affirmation of life. Every mindful movement, a quiet, profound celebration of your existence. I am Monk Hanzo, and what I learned in Iran and Israel, it changed how I walk. Perhaps it will change how you walk too.